Welcome to episode 86 of the All the Book Show, the official podcast of the David A. Hale Public Library, where we talk book news, author news, and literary news. I'm Eric Mickles.
And I'm Nick Gunning. And before you even ask, no, Julia Spencer Fleming is not here today.
I was going to ask.
But we have this picture of her head on a paint stick. So, Julia, how are you? She's great. She's having a really good time.
She just
yeah,
sounds
really
just as lively
as
as she did in our interview with her last week. Of course,
she
I
did.
wasn't there, though a picture of my head was on a paint stick.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's kind of our thing now.
Yeah.
We just, if there's somebody we wish was here, we just
Put
got
their
that
head on a
picture.
paint stick.
It's inspiring.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's very
Thanks,
effective in an
Julia.
audio-only format, I think.
Yes, I think it is.
It's a joke
think
that
it
works
is.
on all levels.
Yeah, a visual gag that people can't see.
Yeah.
It's kind of,
It's highly conceptual. I
it's
like
ahead
it.
of its time.
Yeah.
I think we can agree that it's ahead
Yeah.
of its time. Well, we are going to be talking about mystery series later in the show, so you have that
Or
to look
are
forward to.
we?
Oh, let's gather the suspects in the drawing room.
Yeah.
Before we start with the show, I do want to mention that the Bailey's Prize for Women's Fiction has announced a short list. So we gave you the long list, which was very long, 16 books.
Rhea Perlman.
They've now got it down to just 6.
Okay.
So they are as follows. Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo.
Uh-huh.
The Power by Naomi Alderman. The Dark Circle by Linda Grant.
Ooh.
The Sport of Kings by C.E. Morgan.
Uh-huh.
First Love by Gwendolyn Riley.
Mm-hmm.
And Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Thine.
Yeah.
So those are the 6.
You're constantly saying we have nothing. Here at the library, here
I say
in
that.
our friendship,
Whoa.
you're like, we have nothing.
have
and I'm like,
nothing.
Nick,
What do we build this
do
on?
not say that.
You're right. You're right. You are an inspiration. The final prizes are going to be announced June 7th, so we'll have a
Ooh.
little while. So if you want to read some of
Yeah.
these books, we can hook you up with
You've
that.
got
and we'll cover the
3
winners on June 7th. So
Wow.
anyway, in the meantime, how the heck are you, buddy?
Good. I like your sweater.
Thank you.
Blue, it's
That's
striped.
Casual Friday.
Yeah, I
you
took
know,
a picture
just,
of it, though.
Did
I'm going
you?
to post that on my Instagram.
Okay, that'll be
So-
great. That'll be great.
And then you could post it on our Twitter feed.
okay,
So
will do.
People can like it.
I
They
love
can know
it.
what you look like.
I haven't had a huge reading week. Spoiler alert. I
Yeah.
don't have tons to talk about in
Yeah.
our bookmark. How about you?
Same.
Okay.
Here's the dish. We're recording early because I'm going on a trip.
2.
I don't want to say.
Oh, you don't want to say. Oh,
Disney
wow.
World. I just made a lot of people jealous.
Yeah.
So
actually,
don't try to find me. I will be off the clock. If you come up to me in Disney World and say, wait a second, are you Eric Mickles from the All the Book Show podcast?
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, back of the line, buddy.
yeah.
I'm here for Thunder Mountain and Thunder Mountain only.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just have to unplug and just
Yeah.
unwind.
Yeah.
Can't have fans
Yeah.
and
I'll be like, look,
photographers always
isn't
chasing
it
you around.
enough that you could hang out with Aladdin, that you
Yeah.
could meet Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
Do you always have to be coming up to me in Disney World?
Sure, yeah.
So-
I'm sure. You know, we've said Disney so many times. I feel like the Disney people are
That's
going to
true.
come after us collecting.
I guess
They're
really the only way
very-
they'll-
very protective of their
That's true.
copyrights with Disney.
They
so.
probably only know it's me, though, if I'm in line and I'm like, welcome to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yeah.
Your one-stop shop for crazy thrills. And,
Yeah. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride's been gone for about 15, 20 years now.
Well, maybe they'll
so-
know it's me because
Bad
my
news.
information's so poorly researched.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, wait a
that was
second.
one of my favorite Disney rides, though, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So no updates to report on the bookmark?
No, I'm still reading The Einstein Intersect
Okay.
by, I have it right here, it's Samuel R. Delaney. Still liking it.
You've been in a classic sci-fi zone lately.
Yeah,
I
was in a book
Is that
slump.
like your plan? You're just
Sorry.
digging through classic sci-fi?
Yeah, I was just in a book slump, so I was like, I'm just gonna read something I'm supposed to read.
Okay.
From that Hugo list or something.
Yeah.
It's been working out.
Cool.
And sometimes they're shorter, so, but you still get a lot in it. But I do have to read over the trip, or right when I get back. I need to read Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli.
Yes.
Because
club.
I'm doing a book club with that with 8th graders.
Yeah.
So I need to cruise through that book so I can do it in time. So.
Nice. Okay, well, I picked up a couple of, we got a new crop of graphic novels in, and I picked up a couple that aren't my usual jam, but they're super popular, so I wanted to see what all the hubbub was about.
Great.
So I read Deadpool, Mercs for Money, Volume 1 in a new Deadpool series, and I actually kind of liked it.
Nice.
It was pretty tame. They brought in Negasonic Teenage Warhead from the
Smart.
movie, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was all right. You know, there wasn't much to it, but it was fun.
In the comics, I don't even remember her in the comics. I think she was in Grant Morrison's run.
Yeah.
Negasonic Teenage Warhead was in Grant Morrison's run of the
X-Men,
X-Men
yeah.
comics, but she was like a one-panel like gag, and that was it. And then the movie just turned into a character people wanted to read
right.
about. So
I know, that's exciting.
it's pretty smart.
On the other side of that, I read the new Harley Quinn series, also a super popular character.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I
don't
volume 1
get it. I don't.
that happened before this.
I don't understand who the audience is. Like,
Yeah.
it's not funny.
Yeah.
Or at least I didn't find it funny. Obviously, people do.
Yeah,
find it
I
funny
don't.
and entertaining,
I don't
but
get it, man.
No, I can't. That's not one that I can relate to the cool kids with. Because,
I don't. Yeah, it was like everything I liked about Harley Quinn. It was just like right out the window.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
It was kind of an unrecognizable.
Though I
character.
do like her in the Suicide Squad comics.
Yeah.
Whoever was writing like in that team setting, maybe it's just like solo by herself. Like
Yeah,
when you
she's
just
a side character, certainly. Yeah.
they've kind of turned her into. She didn't used to be, but they've turned her into DC's like DC Comics version of Deadpool. Like she's become more Deadpool while still maintaining the stuff that makes her Harley Quinn in the first place.
That's true.
But I didn't
the
need her-
irreverence,
Yeah.
and the humor, and everything. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I did read. I finished reading Portraits of Courage, which is that collection of paintings.
George W. Bush.
Yeah, George W. Bush.
Yeah.
And I was really
Laura,
impressed
come in
by
here.
it.
Look at this. Oh my gosh.
His paintings, like I wouldn't judge them like I'm an art critic, so let me tell you how great they are. Not that, but I did think that they really captured like the emotion of the situation. So I got to give him props for that. And I thought the stories were really inspiring.
Okay.
Well, it's probably not something that I would have picked up, but it was just such an odd thing,
Right.
you know. That it piqued my interest, and I'm glad that I read it. So it's a quick read, and even just to flip through the pictures is interesting. So we do have that here. So I'd say pick it up.
I would have called the book Paint-Teagery.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's good. I'm still currently reading Keeper of Lost Causes, which if we were recording the regular time, I'd be done with, and I'd be able to tell you all
well,
about.
we're not, Nick.
I know.
So
But I am very much enjoying it, and
wishes
I
were turtles.
don't
We'd
know
all be
how
eating
this
turtle
is
soup.
going to end. So
Really?
I'm kind of on the edge of my seat.
did you get
And I'm reading Headlong Flight by Dayton Ward.
have you talked to any people from the book club? How's
Several from the book club have read his books before. Read this, one or two of them have read this one in particular, but a long time ago. So they love him.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a positive
I think it
discussion,
will
you
be.
think?
Yeah. I mean, at least I know I'll have a couple of ringers who already like this
Yeah.
author. Usually, I'm surprised by a couple of responses, so we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll
Okay.
see. But yeah, I'm enjoying both of those books so far.
All right. Nice.
Yep.
That's kind of rare for you to be liking both of the book club books at the same time.
Well, the other one's not a book club book.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
so it is so rare.
We just finished. Page Turner's just finished In the Bleak Midwinter by Julia Spencer Fleming. Julia. Yeah, she's thrilled.
Great.
She's
Fantastic,
really happy
yeah.
that we read it. So
Yeah.
that's great. Oh, you know what? No, we did that a while back. This is A Fountain Filled with Blood, book 2 that we just
All right.
finished. We're starting Tony Hillerman's The Blessing Way.
Ah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in the book club had read him before. So this will be a new experience for all of
Nice.
us. Mystery. Ties in well with our theme today because the Page Turners book club is pretty much exclusive to reading mysteries.
Does it tie
Yeah. The plot thickens.
Sure does.
It does.
in? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, let's talk book news.
Thickens like a taco sauce.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we're talking book news. We're talking the books that are coming out April 11th.
Wow.
That's 4/11/17, unless
Yeah.
you're in Europe.
And then it's
11 for
yeah.
17.
I get it.
Because they go up.
Yeah.
It took me forever. I was reading a European blog one time, and I kept going like, is this all out of order? I don't understand. What's the reading? And then it dawned on me. So I learned a thing.
Wow.
That was a while ago. I'm not like that anymore.
Well,
All right, so again, these are the books that are coming out April 11th. Let's see if there's anything good. Alice and the Assassin. My page just changed, but the book is called, there it is, by R.J. Corretto. This is an Alice Roosevelt mystery. When I first saw the title, I thought this was another like young adult.
take on Elsa.
Yep. But this is 1902.
Oh.
New York.
Wow.
Alice Roosevelt, the bright, passionate, and wildly unconventional daughter of newly sworn-in President Theodore Roosevelt.
Look out.
Oh, I think
Bully for her.
Yeah.
That's great.
And while Alice forced to challenge those who would stop at nothing in their greed for money and power, they consider her uncertain future. St. Clair must come to terms with her own past. And Allison, yep. So
Wow.
it's just about the
daughter of
the spunky
Teddy
daughter of
Roosevelt.
Teddy
Okay,
Roosevelt.
sure.
Dangerous to Know, a Lillian Frost and Edith Head novel by Renee Patrick.
Okay.
Anything?
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
All right. Well, good. Our segment's going to be fantastic,
Yeah.
Nick. You haven't heard of a Lillian Frost and Edith Head
I
novel?
haven't. No, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm going to read the title, but you have to finish the sentence.
Okay.
If we were villains,
Things would be a lot more fun.
Oh, cool. M.L. Rio is the author here.
Okay.
So if we were villains, the cover is like kind of cursive-y.
Ooh.
And then there's just a picture of a skull.
Ooh,
Actually,
look out.
It's kind of a self-published kind of picture.
Okay.
Like what's a prop we have lying around? Take a picture of it. Where's that light?
We have a cursive
As
skull.
one of 7 young actors studying Shakespeare, we already
boy.
talked about
Oh,
Shakespeare.
boy.
We know how you feel.
Yeah.
At Elite Arts College, Oliver and his friends play the same roles on stage and off. Hero, villain, tyrant, temptress, extra. When the casting change and the secondary characters usurp the stars, the plays spill dangerously over into life, and one of them is found dead. Oh, so it's a mystery. Mm-hmm. Or is it? These are not... Okay, One Perfect Life by Lisa Scottoline.
I never know.
Yeah, but you've never read either.
I haven't.
Not even in book club?
No.
What do you know what she normally writes? Is it like suspense? Is it drama?
I think it's more like thriller than standard mystery.
Okay.
Probably put one on. That's kind of how I make the Page Turner book club schedule. I try to hit all the big names in that genre that we haven't read before.
Have you ever had Jeffrey Deaver?
No, but I think I'm planning to.
Well, he has a new book coming out called The Burial Hour, a Lincoln rhyme novel.
Yeah, apparently his are a little more, I don't know.
Gruesome?
Yes.
Well, it's about a forensic detective called Lincoln Rhyme.
Yeah.
So, what if his trait was that he had to rhyme every disgusting clue he
that'd be
found?
good.
Like her trachea is found in a pool of blood.
Was that a rhyme?
My job rules.
Terrible. That was the worst thing I've ever
I'm not
heard.
a poet.
No. And
don't we have a poet visiting the library soon?
We do, yeah. Donica Kelly's coming on the 25th.
Good. Well,
7 o'clock. Longlisted for the National Book Award just last year. So,
right. Well, she can.
Pretty exciting times.
She can help me out here then.
You think she's want to help you
come up with
rhyme,
Jeffrey
Lincoln
Deaver.
rhyme,
Lincoln
dialogue?
Rhyme. Yeah.
I'll ask her. I'll ask her.
See, so before we started, I had to check if this was a fiction book or nonfiction. It is fiction.
Okay.
The Delight of Being Ordinary, a road trip with the Pope and the Dalai Lama by Roland Morello.
You thought that was real?
What happens when the Pope and the Dalai Lama decide they need an undercover vacation? During a highly publicized official visit at the Vatican, the Pope suggests an adventure so unexpected and appealing that neither man can resist. Before dawn, 2 of the most beloved and famous people on the planet don disguises, slip into a waiting car, and experience the countryside as regular people. Along for the ride are the Pope's overwhelmed cousin Paolo and his estranged wife Rosa, an eccentric hairdresser with a lust for life who cannot resist the call of adventure or fun.
And you thought this was nonfiction? Okay.
When you read it out loud,
Yeah.
When I read the highly publicized, I'm like, when did this happen? I don't remember this being publicized.
Uh-huh.
Against the landscape of good humor, exploration, and spiritual delight, not to mention the sublime rolling hills of Italy, the delight of being ordinary showcases the charming sensibilities of Roland Morello.
And Eric thought it was real.
Are you going to read this?
No. I read about it in the newspaper when it happened, so I don't need to go back.
All right. It sounds exciting. Sounds fun.
Sure,
It's kind of like those old Greek stories where Zeus and Hermes would like dress up as ordinary peasants and like look for somebody to like give them food.
You're right.
And then like the poor couple would give them all they had, and then Zeus would drown everyone else in water who didn't help him out. That's why you got to give rides to strangers,
Yeah,
man.
seriously.
Because you don't want to get drowned by Zeus.
I don't think you should advocate people picking up strangers, but
That's true too.
Yeah.
You
safety first.
Yeah,
Safety first.
It's hard to
tell. Oh, look,
if
another
there's
book.
Yeah. The Widow of Wall Street by Randy Susan Myers. I guess this is a sequel to The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street, yeah.
It's about the seemingly blind love of a wife of her husband as he conquers Wall Street and her extraordinary, perhaps foolish loyalty during his fall.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We got one more adult fiction, Nick. This one, it's a Star Wars book, but I don't recognize the character Thrawn.
Now, is this fiction or non-fiction?
This is fiction.
This is fiction. Okay.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the fiction part of Star Wars.
Okay.
That's not the
all right.
non-fiction
This is a
Star Wars book. Yeah.
version. Okay.
Timothy Zahn.
Yeah, I know him.
He's writing Thrawn.
Yeah, I know.
Thrawn's a character from your Star Wars books you love.
I do love those books. Thrawn
In this
trilogy,
definitive
Thrawn duology.
novel. Ooh, definitive, Nick. Readers will follow Thrawn's rise to power, uncovering the events that created one of the most iconic villains in Star Wars history before he was removed from history.
He's back, though.
But then back in
Yeah,
history. All
he's
right.
been on Rebels.
All right. That's true. He has been on Rebels. My Cubs, A Love Story by Scott Simon, I guess
Okay.
it would be.
Yeah.
It's about the Cubs. We've talked about the
sure.
Cubs before, but if you're looking for a Oh, it says no metaphor is necessary. The Chicago Cubs have been living an example of disappointment and failure for more than a century. That's true. For some of us, they're still a failure because they haven't called.
Okay.
And here's one you might read, Nick Letterman, The Last Giant of Late Night.
I do want to read that
by Jason Zinnemann.
Yes.
The Last Giant. I think he's forgetting Jimmy Kimmel.
I think most of America is forgetting
okay.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah. And then we have a young adult book called Alex and Eliza, a love story by Melissa De La Cruz.
Do we have this one?
No, it comes out April 11th.
Okay. All right.
Melissa De La Cruz is a very popular young adult author.
Okay.
Written a lot. But Alex and Eliza, if people haven't figured it out, is the love story of Alexander Hamilton and Eliza Schuyler.
Made popular by the musical 1776.
Yes.
Starring William Daniels.
Yep. I thought you were going to say Seven Brides for Seven Husbands.
Seven Brides for Seven Brothers?
Brothers.
Yeah. No, he wasn't in that.
So
Howard Keel starred in that.
I'm not entirely sure, how this book will read and everything. And I'm not sure how popular it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'll tell you, I don't
wife,
get it right now.
she's a music teacher.
Yeah.
And her students like Hamilton.
Oh. Well, they won't.
So I don't know if they're going to be, but like if you really like the musical,
yeah,
are you going to be like super excited to read like a unofficial retell? You know what I mean?
Probably not.
It's not going to be in song.
Although some won't be able to say no to this. So
yeah. And this, though some, when they see the book, they'll feel helpless. Those are two songs from the musical Hamilton. See now on Chicago and Broadway.
That's right. We have the book and CD here in the collection.
Yeah, we have a few books.
Yeah, we also have the Hamilton mixtape.
Yeah, and that weird one that's not part of it too. The
adult novel. Yeah.
The Hamilton Affairs.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but uses the same style of like cover.
Yeah,
but
they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
That's all I got, man. What do you got for advanced notices?
Advanced notices. Well, folks, get your calendars out. Get your pencils.
How many people do you think are...
Flip through the calendar. Find the month of May after the current month. These are things that are going to be coming your way. All right?
Okay.
First up.
Hold on. I got a giant wall calendar.
You got a wall calendar?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Flip.
From Dana Stabenow, book number 21 in her Kate Shugak series. Shugak. Less Than a Treason. Less than a treason, but more than a feeling. So, nothing on that one? Okay.
Sorry.
All right. It's just less than a treason. Kate Shugak is native Aleut, working as a private investigator in Alaska. She's 5 foot 1 inches tall, carries a scar that runs from ear to ear across her throat, and owns a half wolf, half husky dog named Mutt.
Time out. I want to know, does she only solve cold cases?
Man, I hope so. Resourceful, strong-willed, defiant, Kate is tougher than your average heroine, and she needs to be to survive the worst the Alaskan wilds can throw at her. And throw their worst the wilds have. Awkward sentence. Awkward sentence. Kate and Mutt have both been shot. Someone shot the dog?
The Wilderness did?
What kind of monster is this?
The Wilderness threw bullets at them?
I might have to read this to find out if that dog makes it. Man.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Now this is an author to watch.
Okay.
This is an author to watch. Book is called Against All Odds by someone new to the scene here, Miss Danielle Steel. A touching masterful novel centers on the relationship, challenges, and triumphs of a long-widowed mother and her 4 adult children.
Hold on, I'll join you in this. So, Danielle, this is her debut novel, though.
It doesn't say expressly that, but I think so.
Yeah,
she certainly doesn't write a book every 2 months. She's not the most best-selling, most prolific author currently living.
Yeah, who
does
she think she is? Nora Roberts?
Exactly. At least Nora Roberts shares some of the load with J.D. Robb, though.
That's true, yeah.
So that makes it a little easier.
Her co-writer.
I have no information about this, so I'm just going to tell you.
New listeners, we know that J.D. Robb and Nora Roberts are the same person. Did you not know that, Nick?
What did you say? They're the same person?
J.D. Robb is Nora Roberts.
I mean, they look alike. There's no way that J.D. Robb can write 100 books a week, and Nora Roberts can also do that.
Nick, I have something to tell you.
Oh,
Nora Roberts
It's
and
like
J.D. Robb.
It's like a Dear Abby Ann Landers situation where they're twin sisters doing similar work, and so it's confusing.
Nora Roberts and J.D. Robb are both Danielle Steel. That's how Danielle Steel...
Makes so much sense. And scene. Testimony. Kendall County legal thriller number 10 by Scott Turow. Scott Turow, #1 New York Times bestselling author and one of the major writers in America, returns with a page that's according to NPR. Returns with a page-turning legal thriller about an American prosecutor's investigation of a refugee camp's mystifying disappearance. The whole camp disappeared? Crazy. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's from Scott Turow. Again, that's coming out in May. Also from our friend Timothy Zahn, who we were just discussing.
We were just discussing him.
Starting a new series, A Chronicle of the Sybil's War, Book 1. Book is called Pawn, coming to you in May. Nicole Lee is a 19-year-old woman in Philadelphia with a dead-end life. Ooh. No family, no money, and a relationship with a criminal named Bungie. That all changes after one of Bungie's deals goes bad.
Yeah.
Bungie forces Nicole to drive him to the hospital to kidnap an ER doctor in order to help him recover from his wounds. Before the would-be kidnapper can seal the deal, all three are whisked away by mysterious, moth-like humans to a strange room. Well, I can't stop now. I got to keep going. They're on board a living ship called the Ferrantha, where they must now work as part of the ship's crew. Nicole has a special ability that allows her to communicate both with the ship and the mysterious Mothmen called Wisps. It is not long before Nicole learns that the ship is far more vast than any of the crew had even imagined, as she is soon caught in a war between factions seeking to seize control of the Ferrantha.
Okay.
Man, I'll tell you what, the cover of this book looks really interesting. That
sounds
description was like banana cakes and a little dull.
So you've read most, or if not all, of Timothy Zahn's Star Wars books.
I don't even know if I'd say that. I've read the 5 Thrawn books.
But you've read the Thrawn books, and you like them.
I do.
But you don't like Zahn outside of those.
I haven't read them.
You haven't read any? I thought you had.
No, my pal Jesse's read like everything.
Okay.
Loves them. But no, I haven't.
Well, with book descriptions like that,
why
not?
I know. I'm telling you, I saw the cover and was like, I'm going to have to check this out. And then I was like, wait, what? Wasp people? I don't get moth people.
Moth people. Wasp people would be terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, moth people are scary. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But wasp people? Wasp are vicious.
Yeah, all the moth people can do is like eat your clothes.
Yeah. Wasp will poison you. They'll lay their eggs in you.
Just turn on a light and all the moth people will just go right to it.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. What do we do?
Sorry, I got one large print here, part of the Those Jensen Boys series. 12 Dead Men. Speaking of dead men, this was written by William Johnstone and J.A. Johnstone.
Okay.
J.A. Johnstone's alive.
All right.
The greatest Western...
I still don't get it.
William Johnstone's dead.
But how's he telling a story? Because dead men tell no tales.
You know what? He is also Danielle Steel.
Oh, my gosh.
For generations, the Jensen family has staked their claim in the heart of the American West. Now the legacy continues as twin brothers Ace and Chance Jensen find justice. Swinging from a hangman's noose, the bad also die young.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what Billy Joel says. Yeah. So
they call me Chance
you
because I'm so lucky. Also, it's my name.
You've just endeared me to that character, though. Let me tell you the truth.
Okay.
Do we have a New York Times list?
Yeah, we sure do.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe we were recording too close together, but yeah.
No, man. New York Times list. It's an ever-changing beast.
Hit me with your best shot.
It's evolving along with us every day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. The day you grow wings, New York Times is going to be standing upright and hunting you.
The moth people are going to help me do just that.
Number 10, A Gentleman in Moscow by Immortals. Nick, are you going to read A Gentleman in Moscow?
No, but I need more towels.
Wow. Jeez.
Sorry.
All right. Glad Julia Spencer Fleming is in here in person to have seen that happen.
I know. She seems like she's laughing.
Yeah. In the inside. On the inside, yeah. Number 9, Lincoln in the Bardo, and I Don't Care.
That's Jimmy Crack Corn.
Oh, right. By George Saunders. That one my wife got this on audiobook.
Okay.
Lincoln in the Bardo. And
interesting, because it's like the format's really weird. Is it multiple voices?
It's a crazy amount of celebrities.
Yeah.
But I think Nick Offerman is playing Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
But then it just she just kept reading the list. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't have it up right now, but maybe next time.
There's a lot of like it's script like dialogue in it.
Yeah. So let's see. We have number 8, The Cutthroat by Clive Cussler. I was just talking to somebody about Clive Cussler, and I said, he's checking them out. And he was talking about how they get put out a lot still. And I was like...
That was me.
No, I was talking to a patron.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, yeah, they're not that I don't think they're as popular as they used to be. And he's like, well, I can't remember the last like really good Clive Cussler, but he had like 4 Clive Cussler books, but he couldn't remember the last time.
Yeah,
he read one that he really, really liked.
At this point, I'm surprised they're still coming out in hardcover. It seems like paperback
harsh.
would be perfect.
Yeah,
but
suckers
like us are just going to keep buying them because
that's true.
People like them. So
that's true. Number 7, Dangerous Games by Danielle Steel.
Oh,
yeah. Number 6, The Woman in the Castle by Jessica Shutuk. This is new, so the Widows...
Is it the next Girl on a Train?
I don't know. Let's see. I said The Woman in the Castle.
Yeah.
My mistake. It's The Women in the Castle.
Oh, okay.
The widows of 3 men killed for attempting to assassinate Hitler take refuge together at the war's end.
I remember now.
And number 5, If Not For You by Debbie McCumber. Number 2, Vicious Circle by C.J. Box. Fun fact, C.J. Box is actually a pen name used by Danielle Steel.
What?
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Number 3, Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman. That's not going anywhere. People are apparently loving this. Number 2, Mississippi Blood by Greg Iles. Mm-hmm. And number 1, new this week. Who do you think's debuting at number 1, Nick?
Mary Higgins Clark.
No.
Oh.
It's another Danielle Steel pen name. The Black Book by James Patterson and David Ellis.
David Ellis.
Now, she, of course, uses the pen name both James Patterson and David Ellis. So she's co-authoring her own book.
She's got stories to tell.
Danielle Steel is just out there.
She's got stories to tell.
The Black Book, after a raid on a brothel that serviced Chicago's elite, 2 people are dead, and the madam's black book has disappeared. Who is responsible?
I don't know.
You know what you call that?
What?
A mystery.
Mystery. I love it.
Yeah.
And what a great segue into this week's main segment.
Yeah.
We're talking mysteries.
Or are we?
No, we are. We decided ahead of time.
Okay.
We told them last week we were going to talk about mysteries. So
all right.
I think the change at this point would be misleading and in poor taste.
Okay.
So with that in mind, mysteries. Now we open this up to listeners' responses, and boy, enough's enough.
Yeah.
Just flooded with mail.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, we do have quite a few.
Yeah.
So we'll try to touch on most, if not all, of those.
My goal is all. If
That's
you
your goal.
stop me from achieving that goal, I might go into some crippling depression.
Really?
Yeah. I might not leave my house for the next 3 weeks.
Well, you're going to Florida.
Oh shoot! You know
So
what? Then
it's really not
I'll
a good
be fine.
time for
Yeah,
it.
you're right. I'll be fine.
Okay. Now let me ask you this:
Yeah.
You, not a big mystery fan.
That's true.
Is
I
that
hate
right?
mysteries.
Do
I
you?
hate them. I hate them so much.
Is that true?
That is so true.
You know, we met because of a mystery.
That's true. That's also true.
I directed Eric when he was just a young how old were you? Just a young student.
I wasn't that young. I was 23.
Okay. All right. Well, still.
I was 22 turning 23.
Okay, 22. That's something. I directed a production of House on the Cliff by George Batson, which
I was 23.
I still love to this day. A great, twisty murder mystery play.
Yeah. I played the villain.
You did play the villain.
Or
yeah.
did I?
you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I was the villain.
A great twist. But I guess, I don't know what started. I do love mysteries. Let me just get that right out there.
I know.
In front of everything. I do love a good mystery. And I don't know how far it goes back. I feel like I've always loved mysteries. Like when I was a kid, I was way into
Murder, She Wrote.
Encyclopedia Brown first. And then I used to read these books. I don't even remember who wrote them, but it was the TCDC, the TCDA, Three Cousins Detective Agency.
Okay.
They're like a little like, 8 to 10-year-old
Those
kid series.
Those
I loved
those Elvis books you read, were those mysteries?
Blue
Suede Clues.
Blue Suede Clues, Such Vicious Crimes.
Yeah.
There's a third one. Viva Las Vengeance.
Okay, yeah.
I wish there were more because I really did like that. That's
Peanut
a great
butter,
series.
banana, crime,
Murder. Yeah.
murder.
Yeah. So I guess it's just kind of I've always liked mysteries, like
Right.
way back, going back there. And I also don't remember a time when I wasn't watching Murder, She Wrote and Columbo.
That's
so
true, yeah.
I guess
Well,
that's like-
Columbo's not really a mystery, because you already know who.
yeah, it's still a puzzle. I mean, it's a. They always say it's instead of a whodunit, it's a how do it, because he has to figure out.
Okay.
The mystery is not who killed.
Yeah.
It's how Columbo's going to solve it, which is interesting and actually solved a pretty good problem, because on Murder, She Wrote, It's like, oh, look, there's a celebrity guest starring in this episode. He's the murderer.
Yeah.
Whereas in Columbo, right ahead of time, like, well, yeah, William Shatner's the murderer. Totally he is.
Yeah. Was William Shatner ever the murderer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems so against type for him.
Oh, yeah, Shatner's in it. Nimoy does a great one.
I remember the Nimoy one. And
they cast the Shatner episode, for a little sidetrack here. The Shatner episode, he plays... an actor who plays a brilliant detective on TV.
Okay.
So like he thinks he's actually like a brilliant.
Ah.
So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good casting of Bill Shatner.
Star Trek Shatner or T.J. Hooker Shatner?
T.J. Hooker era.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely. And Walter Koenig, who's Chekhov, is also in that episode.
Fantastic.
As one of the cops. So random. I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Yeah. So I loved those old school mystery series. Diagnosis Murder also. That's more about my love for Dick Van Dyke, I think, than my love of the murder mystery.
Yeah.
But
okay.
So for me, it's just always been there. And I think probably the Murder, She Wrote books by Donald Bain are the probably the first like mystery series I read like as an adult.
Okay.
I guess I read the first one in high school, but I still read them. And there's like so many. There's like 45 or something like that. So and still remain popular. I mean, we get every one, and they're always checking out. So I've read the Columbo books too. Not as good as the Murder, She Wrote series.
Okay.
But at this point, the Murder, She Wrote series has so long outlasted the TV show. They've been it's way more stories than that. But so, what about you? Why don't you like?
I just hate mystery. For me, I just get too impatient. I'm halfway into the book. All these clues have been laid out. People just keep going back and forth asking questions, and I'm just like, just tell me who it was.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't feel the suspense like I should, or like the desire to find out. I just want to know. I like knowing the stuff and then just going from there.
Okay.
So that's just kind of frustrating.
I do feel that way with mysteries that I don't like often. Like, the Page Turner, I don't even know how many we've done in the Page Turner book club at this point, but, a lot of those are ones that either the group suggested or they're authors we haven't read before. And I don't know, probably 50% of the time, I haven't really liked the book. And I do hit that point. I hit that point where I'm like, I'm 100 pages in.
Right.
I know all the characters.
Yeah.
Just tell me who did it.
I'm just not smart
ready
enough
to be done.
figure it out on my own most of the time anyway.
Hey, man.
Thanks. That's okay.
Don't
I'm not fishing for a
short.
compliment there. I just had to accept it. Like, I read a mystery book and I'm like, I don't know. Any of them could be. I give up.
Yeah.
And so I just get frustrated and just want to be done with them. I felt that way when I read Girl on the Train. Mm-hmm. I was just like, all right, well, who is it? Because especially because the main character is such a drunk.
Yeah.
And moving so slowly, it's just, that's even more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, well, stop drinking so we can figure it out.
This might be blasphemy for this topic, but I've never been a big fan of Agatha Christie.
Ooh.
I've tried several times.
I have read an Agatha Christie.
Have you?
I read Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, my wife likes that. I haven't read that.
I do like it. I'm not going to spoil it, but
Okay.
I don't like the resolution.
Okay.
So, but I am excited for the movie. That's because of the ensemble cast.
Oh, that is a great cast for that.
So-
Yeah, that's good. Was that coming out this year?
It's December, I think.
Okay, so late in the game.
Yeah.
I played the main character in The Mousetrap, an Agatha Christie play.
Oh, okay.
When I was in college, and that I really enjoyed.
We saw it.
But I guess I just don't like. I mean, her thing is a little bit. I like being able to figure it out, and I felt with the ones I've read of hers, it was kind of like, well, there's no way that you ever could have figured that
Right.
out,
See,
And so I don't like that. I like to be able to see the pieces.
I like mysteries in the comic books I read.
Yeah.
In the superhero comic books I read.
Yeah.
Because at this point in my life, I know every single character and, all their past motivations and everything. So when they're like, who could it be? I'm like, well, it's this person or this person. Then I get excited because I know. So and just a standalone, it's frustrating because I'm like, I don't know, I haven't had enough time.
That's true.
There's only gonna be one.
Well, I think that's why. You don't see a lot outside of the mystery genre. You don't see a lot of super long running series. I mean, look at somebody like Grisham. He doesn't have recurring characters. He writes a book just about every year. There's hardly any recurring characters.
Right.
There's no series outside of his YA series.
What about when the Lincoln lawyer became the Lincoln doctor?
Yeah.
And then he was the Lincoln pilot?
Yeah. Well, first of all, that's Michael Connolly. And second of all, that is a series.
Okay.
So
Fantastic.
But it works great as a standalone too. But yeah, I do. I think you're making a good point, though, that's one of the things that I like about like reading these long running series, because you start already knowing the character pretty well, and so it gives you the freedom to just kind of like explore the situation. And sometimes like you sort of debate whether I know we always have trouble deciding on some authors whether we want to classify them as mystery or not.
Yeah.
Like James Patterson is one that tends to flip flop back and forth.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd count him as mystery.
Yeah, I think the Alex Cross
at this point.
The Alex Cross ones are more like less trying to solve a murder and more like on a manhunt. And when that's the situation, it's usually not technically a mystery. But the thing with the Alex Cross books is I often find that I'm way more interested in like his personal life than I am in the actual like whodunit of the plot. And so I feel like that balance sometimes can be hard to strike in these long running series like that.
You know where else I don't like mystery?
What?
It's in fantasy books.
Yeah.
I don't like mystery that's based off of the world building.
Yeah.
Because then it's just like nonsense to try to figure it out. Like,
Right.
why won't my spells work? Or like, there's a mystery to like this.
Yeah.
And like, well, I have no. You could suddenly say there's like a golden whale in the ocean you have to
Right.
slay, and I'll have to take it at face value. So like, I don't. So it's not a case of just put mystery in the right genre for me and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I just like knowing all the facts and the characters going from there.
Okay.
So
All right, yeah, that's different. Well, when Julia was here, she was talking about just that concept of wanting there to be enough breadcrumbs that when the end comes, you're surprised, but you still like you can look back and you can see all the pieces come together. And I think that's so important. And I think one of the keys to success in these long-running mystery series, like Julia's Claire and Russ series, is that
Julia, you guys on first name basis?
You care about each case in each book, like you want to know how these are going to resolve. But, I would say a lot of the readers are equally, if not more interested in the dynamic between Russ and Claire, and just the mystery is just like an avenue to explore those relationships.
Yeah.
So it really just kind of depends, what the goals are. But one that I've started reading recently is Tess Gerrit's and Rizzoli and Isle series, which they based that TNT show on, which I've never seen. But I really like those books, and I put one on the book club schedule. And those are neat because you have, there's a lot of examples in the genre of like a non-traditional detective, say a murder mystery writer or something like that, whereas this, you kind of get a little bit of both, because one of them is a homicide detective and the other is the medical examiner, and they're friends. So like, I think those books really successfully kind of marry the two. You have police procedural and you have the non-traditional detective, and because of the friendship that they have, it makes it realistic. Like you're not constantly like, well, why is she asking that, or why is she sharing that information? You buy it because of their friendship. So I think that's a really well done example on how to marry that so well. But let's dig into some listener responses.
All right, I'm on our library. You also posted it to Facebook. So
yeah,
we got
we
it
have
all
in
over
a
the
couple
place.
different ways. Yeah.
Let's see. So Tanya on Facebook says, I'm enjoying the Sidney Chambers and Grantchester series. Are you familiar with those?
No.
Sidney Chambers and Grantchester. And the thing with mystery, though, is that we're going to have so much of this. Just like, it's a these characters thing. And it's gonna be like, who are these? Just because there's a whole bunch. You know who do like mysteries?
Who?
Kids.
Really?
I mean, you got the A to Z mysteries. You've got Infinity Circle. You just got... It just seems like there's a lot of... I mean, the Boxcar Children today are still super popular.
Yep.
So the Grantchester Mysteries, by the way, is a crime fiction book of short stories by the British author James Runis.
Okay.
And it's set in 1950s Grantchester.
Short stories. So he said short mysteries?
That's what, short.
Interesting. Okay. That's kind of like the Father Brown setup. Yeah, you mentioned Boxcar Children. We had a couple of listeners mentioned that.
Yeah.
Facebook user Heather, Facebook user Michael, all called out Boxcar Children. Michael also likes Encyclopedia Brown, just like
you.
Me.
Yeah. Boxcar Children I did like as a kid.
Yeah.
But
have you read a lot of them?
I read like the first 12.
Okay.
And then like book 50 because it was about a Tyrannosaurus skeleton in a museum.
Oh, yeah.
So
You have to.
But the first book obviously isn't a mystery.
Yeah, that's funny. I was just going to say that. I'd always just known
No.
that
It was
a,
like
a
it-
mystery series.
Yeah.
And then I read the first book as an adult, like just
Right.
from working here. I picked it up one day and read it.
Yeah.
And I really liked it. But
Yeah.
I was like, I kept waiting for like
The
Grandpa
yeah.
to get iced or something.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's like if after Hatchet, Brian went on and just started solving crimes.
Yeah.
Like in New York City.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, I once had to survive a whole winter in the woods by myself, but
Yeah.
now I got to figure out who stole this pie.
Exactly.
So
Yeah,
it
it's
is-
like it's almost like a spin-off of itself. Like it took the characters and put them in a different situation.
Yeah.
Like how Lou Grant spun off of Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
Mary Tyler Moore, sitcom, Lou Grant, hour-long drama.
or how
Only time it's ever happened. Fascinating.
Disney
Yeah.
did everything in the 80s and 90s with
Yeah.
their characters.
Yeah.
Like Tailspin.
Tailspin.
Like suddenly Baloo isn't just
He's just a pilot.
yeah, he's a
it's
pilot
great.
now.
Yep. Yep.
And Chip and Dale, guess what? They're also detectives.
Detectives.
Yep. So
Yeah, if we're gonna talk mystery series, why aren't we talking Chip and Dale?
Rescue Rangers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Well,
dig
that's
right
because
into
usually the answer is Fat Cat. Fat Cat's
Yeah,
the
Fat
problem.
Cat's usually the one who did it.
Yeah.
But more on that in our Chip and Dale spotlight coming up in the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. You have to be
Not
very
the-
specific
yeah.
when you say
Not
Chip
the
and Dale
furniture
Spotlight.
or the dancers.
Yeah. So
Whew.
let's see.
Close call.
Patrick says Hardy Boys.
I have never read the Hardy
This
Boys.
library has so much Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we don't have any of the Hardy Boy Nancy Drew team ups.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. And
did they,
Nancy
like,
Drew
date?
had some they don't have to date Nick. They
I
can
know.
be
I'm just
friends.
wondering if they did.
Gosh.
I'm just wondering.
So
Are they
that's it.
popular? Do you find them still checking out?
The Hardy Boys do check out.
Yeah.
As do Nancy Drew. We keep most of them, the older ones, downstairs in our juvenile stacks.
Mm-hmm.
But those they do still check out. It's a little ridiculous. What's worse, like there's something kitschy or nostalgic when you look at an old Nancy Drew or Hardy Boy.
Yeah.
But when you look at the ones that they were printing in the 90s and 80s,
Yeah.
it's rough. Like,
Those don't look like-
Nancy Drew in her like 80s ski outfit, ready to solve a
Yeah.
ski slope mystery.
Yeah.
It's just bad. She's got her headband on.
Yeah.
She's like, all right, let's get physical and solve this crime.
Facebook user John mentions author Dick Francis, and that's one that I put on the Page Turner schedule, and we read one, and people were very like, no, I don't want to read this. Often these are about horse racing or something like that.
Okay.
Is set, and there's not a lot of recurring characters in Dick Francis books, though there are a few. But that was probably, out of all the Page Turner Book Club books I've done, the biggest surprise.
Really?
Because it was universal that nobody wanted to read it. And they were like, why are you making us read this? And they read it, and they all loved it. It was like universal.
Who comes
Everyone
to a
loved
book
it.
club and like acts like you're making them read
I don't
something?
know.
It's
I
so
don't
funny.
know. I know. But yeah, they all really enjoyed it, and I was shocked by that. And they all checked out like more books by Dick Francis, so
Oh, there
he
you
definitely
go.
won them over. Felix Francis, Dick Francis' son, has
Mm-hmm.
since continued on the series. Now they say by Felix Francis a Dick
Okay.
Francis mystery,
Right.
So it's still the same kind of deal. But,
Okay.
Yep.
We have Talia. Talia.
Talia al Ghul?
Not Talia al Ghul.
Oh, okay.
The
You don't know.
Ra's al Ghul daughter and Batman villain
Yeah.
/ love interest.
Yeah.
This is Talia of Facebook.
Okay.
She says, anything written by Wilkie Collins.
Wilkie Collins.
Wilkie Collins died in 1889.
Whoa.
He's an English novelist. The book The Moonstone.
Don't tell Talia. It's going to break her heart.
He wrote The Moonstone in 1868, and that is considered the first modern English detective novel.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So there you go. You got one?
Yeah. Our friend Ann Burlingham from Burlingham Books, who's been here selling books
Wait.
at our events.
What are the odds that a woman with the last name Burlingham would end up working at a place named That would
it's
be
a
like if
crazy
you were working
coincidence.
at like Gunning and Co.
Yeah.
Or if I was at Mickles Inc.
Yeah.
It's not a thing.
What kind of work do you do at Mickles Inc.?
It's like a startup tech. It's
Really?
It's tech in like a social aspect,
social
but
tech.
it's all online.
Okay.
So think of media.
Yeah.
You take how you use media.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, but socialize it.
Exactly.
and that's Mickles Inc.
How has no one thought of that before? That's great.
Yep.
Anyway, Anne Burlingham had quite a few suggestions. She mentions Lawrence Block. She says several good series, some serious, some funny.
Okay.
I like Lawrence Block's Matthew Scudder series, and this is the one we've talked about this somewhat recently. Walk Among the Tombstones with Liam Neeson.
We just got that in our collection. We realized we didn't have it, and it's been checking out nonstop
I'm
since.
sure. That's a Matthew Scudder book.
Is that a
turned
mystery,
into a
not
movie.
like an action thing?
It is. It is a mystery. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like sort of an unofficial PI. So the ones I've read haven't been. No, the first one is a murder mystery.
Okay.
They alternate. Sometimes they're murder mysteries. Sometimes it's just I need you to figure out what happened in this situation.
Okay.
But I really like those. I really enjoy the writing. His burglar series is known to be a little bit funnier. I haven't read those, but very popular in this library. A Buffalo native, as well.
All right.
So. She mentioned several others. Peter Dickinson, she says, a great YA author who does fascinating mysteries. She mentions Robert Bernard, who died, so that's sad.
Yeah. We have Kay on Facebook. She says, Swedish author Camilla Lackberg. The full name of this author apparently is Jean Edith Camilla Lackberg Eriksson.
Huh.
She's Swedish, of course.
Sure.
So I can't even begin to read you the Swedish titles of her book.
Okay. I would like it if you could just begin. Could you just begin to do it? Just give me one.
Her 2011 book is just called Super Charlie.
Oh.
So that's easy. But you've got her
fun.
2007 book called Ungen, and then you've got 2004's Predikatin. I can't see. This one's like an L, but then it's an S.
Okay.
Lispician. Anyways, so her first book apparently is called The Ice Princess. Then you have The Preacher, The Stonecutter. Her newest book would be The Ice Child. Have you seen any of these
I don't think
books
so.
at all? Okay. Feast, Food, Love, Super Charlie, The Drowning, The Lost Boy. So, okay. Well then, Kay has found an author, a hidden gem author then.
Really?
From you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From you.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it's a very popular series. We just
probably.
and you and I are just clueless.
Yes. Well, I will say that two of our more popular mystery authors have since visited here, and I reached out to them because of their popularity here. So it would be Archer Mayer, whose Joe Gunther series is actually it's in books. I don't know. It's like at book 26, 27 or something. But it's since had like a big resurgence, just like in the world. You know, it's getting starred reviews in Kirkus and Publishers Weekly and that sort of thing.
Okay.
Just doing really well and remains popular here. And Julie Spencer Fleming. I mean, trying to do a display with those books, it was like, well, we have one checked in. I'd put it out, gone, you know. And that's not just because she was coming. I mean, she is one of our more popular mystery authors here. So very exciting to have both of them. And they both were just so entertaining in real life. But
Christine on Facebook says J.D. Robb's In Death series.
Oh, yeah.
And Janet Ivanovich Stephanie Plum series. I didn't know Stephanie Plum was considered mystery.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were like romance, like steamy romance / action. Like, cause isn't Stephanie Plum's a bounty hunter, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't think that was mystery.
They are typically classed as mystery. I've only read one of the Christmas ones and was not a mystery at all, so I can't really, I don't know.
Okay.
But they are super popular. That's one we usually, a lot of those books, we've had to get 2 and even 3 copies of the Stephanie Plum series because they're just crazy popular. The In Death series, there are so many. There are so there's like, I think there's over 50 at this point.
Who writes the...
And they're futuristic. They're set in the future.
What?
Yeah. She's like a future cop.
I love it.
So they're vaguely sci-fi as well. So we're gonna read one of those for page turners next year.
Who's the author who writes the Alphabet Murder series?
Sue Grafton.
Yes. Okay. I actually didn't see anybody put Sue Grafton on.
Yeah,
Facebook.
those are. I mean, I think they're still popular, but they're not. It's not top tier anymore.
Well, Wanda says Louise Penny and Anne Perry. Have you read either of them? You've read Anne Perry.
Yes, I have read Anne Perry. We read the first of her William Monk series. Louise Penny, I have not read. My wife has read and enjoys them. And we're reading the first of her series. I think it's called Still Life. We're reading that later in the year for page turners. So I will have read Louise Penny by the end of the year.
Okay. Tina Tina from the Cuba Library, no less.
Our old pal Tina. Hi, Tina.
She says she's been working her way through the YA nominees for the Edgar Awards, and her favorite so far is The Girl in the Blue Coat. We have that book, and it's a World War II book, and I didn't think it was I didn't know it was a mystery.
New?
It came out last year.
Okay.
So
I have a clear picture of it in
yeah,
my mind. It seems like
but she said it's a historical mystery. So that's interesting. I'll probably have to read it because you have to be able to describe every World War II book to kids and teens to sell them.
Yeah.
But that's interesting, and that's the last one I have in front of me.
Oh, looky here. We've got Facebook user and one-time guest star, friend of the show, Sally, says Murder, She Wrote remains a favorite. She also recommends an old radio show called Suspense. So
yeah,
there you go. That's two for Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah,
and mine is several votes for Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah,
we have a weighted.
And you're talking about the books.
A weighted voting.
You're talking about the whole Murder, She Wrote universe.
The Murder, She Wrote canon.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
including the board game. Great board game. You played that board game.
I did play that board
Pretty
game.
Pretty good, right? I want you to admit for our listeners that it's a good board game.
It was good.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you meant it.
You know what?
Trying to back away
Here's
from
something.
it. You meant it.
I like mystery board games. And you know why? Because you're playing with friends.
Yeah.
And so you know your friends.
Yeah.
And you know your tells. So like when we're playing a game like Avalon, or the Resistance Avalon, or the One Night Ultimate Werewolf, or Spyfall, or something, like you know enough about the people you're around to base your suspicions off, to go on clues and everything and their tells. So like I guess that's just it. I just feel like when I read when I read Girl on the Train, you only know as much as they tell you, and it's just, especially with an unreliable narrator, it's just very frustrating.
I enjoyed the unreliable narrator, though. I thought that was a really good element in it.
Legion, I guess, is doing that, the show.
Okay.
So
interesting. Do you want to just put the greatest hits of all the books on and just go play Clue, the Great Museum Caper?
Why don't we just watch Clue? Why don't
the
we
movie
just do
with
an
Christopher
audio?
Lloyd? Yes.
Why don't we just do an audio commentary to Clue?
If you're joking, you better not be joking.
We'd have to watch Clue, and then we'd go back and put it on with the subtitles, and then we would just audio.
Well, we've got a few more. I've got a few more here.
Clue had a series though, right? Clue had a book series. I feel like.
Yes. You know what? That might be the thing. That might be the thing that really made me love mysteries, because I've read every one of those. We used to get the Scholastic book orders,
right? And
I'd get it and be like, "Clue book number 3 is coming out!"
Yeah,
and they're short stories,
right?
They're like just a few pages, and you have to figure it out. I loved those. I loved those so much.
Okay. So
I can't believe. I feel like I've betrayed my younger self in not mentioning those.
The junior Clue novelizations and Elvis Presley mysteries are what got Nick into mysteries as a person. As a reader.
Those Elvis mysteries, though, written by Daniel Klein. We don't have them here, but I will get. If you want to read them, you reach out to us, and I'll get you a copy. I tell you what, they're so much fun.
You're just. I guess I don't understand, why didn't they just make adult versions of those?
No, those are adult.
The Blue Suede Clues books are adult books.
Yeah.
Then why are they still doing them?
I don't know. There's only 3.
Why would they stop at 3?
You're
telling me Elvis Mysteries wouldn't sell today?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
These were pretty old. I was reading these when I worked at Willard Library in
But
Michigan.
now it seems like the perfect time to just start that series up.
Yeah, bring it back.
And then do a spin-off, The Beatles Mysteries.
Yeah, I love it.
So
why haven't they done that?
I don't know. I don't know enough Beatles songs to come up with Beatles song title mystery things.
All you need is death.
Yeah, My Bird Can Kill.
All right, let me hit a few more listener responses here, and then we can close up shop. Facebook user Debbie says PD James, another perennial favorite here. Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else haven't we got? Oh boy. Facebook user Brad gives us a whole list. I'll read you a few. George Simeon, Donna Leone, Martin Walker, C.J. Sanson, Nicola Upton, and Jacqueline Winspear. Oh, Maisie Dobbs. Yeah, Maisie Dobbs also. That's a historical mystery series.
Right.
Super popular here. I haven't read one.
Okay.
Tana French, Charles Finch, so many.
I can't think of many young adult. I can't think of any young adult mystery series. Mm-hmm. That's all.
Theodore Boone, Kid Lawyer.
I don't think those are mysteries.
No, they're not really mysteries. No, I can't think of any either.
So
Facebook user Sarah says Dorothy Sayers, the Lord Peter Wimsey series, and Sherlock Holmes. We haven't talked about Sherlock Holmes at
that's
all.
true.
Are you a fan of Sherlock Holmes?
I'm
I
a fan of the concept of Sherlock Holmes,
Yeah.
but I don't think I could ever sit down and read an original Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
I like the show Sherlock, but I don't like the movie
I introduced
Sherlock
you to that
Holmes.
show, by the
That's
way.
true. I know. Gosh.
You say you don't like the movies?
I don't like the two Robert Downey Jr. I like the second one more
Yeah,
than
I
the
like the
first
second one.
because the first one is like it's magic or it's not. I
Yeah.
hate that. And like either it's magic or just don't even use it.
Right.
It's frustrating. So I like the second one.
You do not like to be kept in the dark about elements of plots.
That's
what
true.
we've learned today.
I've heard elementary.
Elementary.
I heard the show has gotten like really good. I heard it started
Like
out
the
kinda-
Johnny Lee Miller.
the Lucy Liu
Lou?
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it's actually really good. So I think they play on his vices, his like his addictions a little
Yeah.
bit more. I think he's more of a flawed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's flawed in both.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
I've never seen it. We have so many more. We have so many more.
All right,
suggestions here.
just speed through
So
them.
no. We can just cut it there. That's,
Okay.
That's all right. That's all right. We don't have to.
Oh
get
boy. Well, sorry if Nick decided not to speed through your. You heard me. I tried.
You did.
But Nick is a
did.
monster.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't be a monster because you've had this stuffed turtle with these sad big eyes. Just and
Yeah.
this when I say stuffed, I mean like a stuffed animal, not
Yeah.
like
His name's Shecky.
he's
I got him at
yeah.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Every time my son is here, he gets him off the shelf. So
Yeah.
that's why he's right here.
Yeah.
He is kind of.
And every time your son's here, he wants to play with your car's Lightning McQueen.
Oh boy! First of all, that's not Lightning McQueen. It's just a Lightning McQueen's friend. I don't know what his name is.
Okay.
But he's got eyes.
So every time your son comes here and wants to play with that car, you're like, no, that's not a toy.
That's not true.
That's Daddy's
That's
car's
not.
car.
No.
Yeah.
You're exaggerating.
You've
You're
banned him
exaggerating
to the-
for humor.
All right.
Well, we have a great mystery section here on the main floor, and in the stacks, it's
Or
huge.
do we?
We're done.
We're done with the
We're
do
gonna-
we?
no, we're not gonna do that
Okay.
anymore. But we do have a great assortment on the main floor. Even more in the stacks, and we
Yeah.
have like old Rex Stout. We have Agatha Christie.
And if you turn
we
off the
have
lights in the stacks, it kind of feels like you're going to become part of a
little
mystery
bit.
novel
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, it becomes a murder library, as Julia Spencer
Julia
Fleming
Spencer Fleming once said. Yes.
would call it. But yes,
Yeah.
we have so many, and we can always get them from other libraries or anywhere you want. So
Julia Spencer Fleming is not the first big name author to come here and be frightened by the basement of the library.
That's true.
Joyce Carol Oates also wandered too deep into the
yeah,
bowels of the
that
library
very same room.
and found what I would call the soulless, jawless Santa Claus.
Yeah, we have a life-size, a little bit bigger than life-size,
Bigger than life.
Santa Claus dummy that is just unintentionally terrifying.
The most
And I feel comfortable saying that because Joyce Carol Oates, with her twisted mind,
Uh-huh.
saw that and was like, "What is that?"
Yep.
So
Yeah. So if Julia Spencer Fleming,
Julia's in good company.
who
Let's say that.
only walked into the basement, looked around and said, like, this is a murder library.
Yeah.
If she had run into that Santa Claus,
I can't even.
she would have passed out. We would have never found her again.
No, we certainly wouldn't have found her.
The library would have taken her in, kind of like the hotel in The Shining.
Yeah,
The Overlook
exactly.
Hotel.
exactly
Yeah.
like the Overlook in The Shining.
So,
Oh boy. Well,
Yeah.
what do we got coming up for library news?
whoa. I didn't know you were going to do this.
It's how we
this
al-
has never
it's where
happened
we
before.
always- okay.
This happens every episode?
You know what? I'm going to go first.
Oh, thank goodness.
Contemporary classics, just finishing up UC Adler Olson's Keeper of Lost Causes, so you can join us for that. As I mentioned earlier, we're reading Tony Hillerman's The Blessing Way for Page Turners, and that'll be the first week in May.
No.
We've got...
Don't go that way. Go the blessing way.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, that's nice. We have a busy April. We have the Alfred State Jasmine Ensemble.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, Alfred State Statesman Jazz Ensemble. That's what it is.
Nice.
It's confusing. But they're coming the 20th of this month at 7 o'clock, 20th of April. Always popular. We have a poetry reading from Donica Kelly on the 25th, also at 7 o'clock, as I mentioned. And Genesee Dance Theater, who have done the Nutcracker here for the last 3 years, are doing a ballet called Paper Moon.
Yeah.
Choreographed to songs from the Great American Songbook. The early reviews are very good. So
Okay.
I hope you'll join us for that on April 27th at 7 o'clock.
Now, read all that again, but as if you were on NPR.
Yeah. Coming to us in a few weeks, we have from Genesee Dance. I can't even do it. I was starting.
It was
to
the
fall
jazz
asleep.
one that made
Oh,
me
the
think
jazz.
that. Yeah, because you're like the Alfred State Statesman's Jazz
Yeah,
Men's
it's
Ensemble.
hard, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
hard to say.
All right.
yeah.
And as I've said before, we got the teen photo show coming up.
Exciting times.
Let me double check. It
What a time to
is
be alive.
the 17th, April 17th through the 22nd is when we start taking photo submissions. So teens, all you crazy hip teens listening by your radio sets, hanging out with your best gals, your best guys,
Yep.
put down that soda pop, go pick up your camera, take some photos, frame it, and bring it to me. It's going to be a swell time.
It sounds like it.
You come to the reception. That's May 3rd, 6 to 7:30. We're going to have refreshments. It's just going to be a keen time. What a way to spend your night.
Wow, you really went for that.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, well done.
Thank you, man.
Well done.
All right, but that's the big thing. That's the big one we're pushing because we had a great turnout last year. A lot of great photos. And a lot of people showed up at the reception. And Brian Oglesby, who judges it, was there, and he interacts and talks to the teens about their photos. And it's just a great time.
Absolutely.
So parents or friends, let everyone know this is happening.
Yep.
That,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Yeah. I don't think we've even figured out what we're going to talk about next week. So that's the final mystery of the episode. What will episode 87...
I hate mysteries!
Eric, settle down. Eric's going to be nice and tan and relaxed from being in Florida.
So
we'll see you at episode 87.